Hey everybody, it's Jason Baha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. Now, some of you are going to be like, I don't care about this stuff. Well, you saw the title of the video when you clicked on it. You have like 35 minutes of Q&As on informative stuff I put out this morning. Go watch that instead. But for people who like knowing about this stuff, I give my audience what they ask for. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my craft a little bit and let's talk about this. So, guys, I did a video yesterday discussing something that Rich Piana said. Now, keep in mind, this is a guy with like 1 million subscribers, massive following on YouTube. I mean, giving fitness advice, workout advice, everything else. And he made some statements, and you know, those statements were essentially that, you know what, guys, when you lift heavy weights, your tendons in your joints do the work and your muscles don't work. Essentially what he was saying, that the muscles don't do the work, that the tendons have ability to contract. And when you get really heavy on the weight, tendons, which normally work as cables, almost like cables and attachments to the end of the muscle, and aren't capable of lifting a single ounce by themselves. They have no ability to contract or move weight. But when you start lifting heavy, the tendons magically take over. They magically take over. Now, I had a problem with that. And people said, but you know what, Jason, you should have watched the video to the end. And you know what? I disagree with that. I couldn't watch the video to the end. Do you know why? Because I was losing brain cells every second I listened to this sheer mental retardation that anyone who's taken a freshman level high school biology class would know better than. Okay, I could understand if it was middle school students. Maybe you're 12 years old, maybe you're 13. But by the time you're 15 years old, what you learn in a biology class should tell you that this guy literally doesn't know what he's talking about. That he doesn't know what he's talking about at all. That this is just complete horseshit made up. He doesn't understand even basic human biology or anatomy, not even like high school level. Doesn't understand it at all. Tendons don't do any work. Your muscles do all of the lifting. Every time any of your bones move, it is 100% your muscles causing them to move. Anytime you lift a weight, your muscles are doing 100% of the work. It doesn't matter whether it's heavy or light, but the idea that muscles work less hard with a heavier weight is absurd. It's so far beyond absurd that you have to think he's just like clowning. He can't be serious, but he was. Now, they're like, but you should have listened to the end, because he's basically said, disregard all this. Naturals need to lift heavy. Disregard this because naturals need to lift heavy. So let me see if I understand this correctly. See, naturals, when they lift heavy, their muscles work. People who are on no anabolics of any type, when they lift heavy, their muscles work harder, right? Their muscles work harder. Well, they have to, yeah, because it's a heavier weight. It requires more muscle fibers to contract, more motor units to contract. That makes sense. Yeah, their muscles have to work. All right, so that's what he's saying, right? But when people go on steroids, their muscles magically lose the ability to contract with heavy weight, and the tendons start contracting. Like steroids make your tendons contract when you lift a heavy weight. It magically turns your tendons into muscle-like things that have the ability to suddenly create force. That steroids give your tendons a magical ability to do this when they don't do this at all normally, right? But it only happens when you lift heavy weight. Now, you mean to tell me that someone who built his career, oh God, is someone going to say this? Everybody knows this. Come on, guys. The whole industry, all the other YouTubers, we talk about this. Coaches and I talk about this. Everyone knows. Okay, do we really need to keep secrets like that? Look, a guy who built his fortune running a steroid lab and selling steroids doesn't know what they do in the body. Like, he doesn't actually know. No, they don't. The muscles, no, that wouldn't cause your tendons to gain the ability to lift weights. Maybe this is why he needs to use so much gear, 4.5 grams, to make gains. 4.5 grams to make gains. You mean to tell me that a guy who made his career originally selling gear and then, you know, using his real estate and other business as a shell company, that He doesn't even know what they do. He thinks that they give tendons the ability to contract, and then when you go on gear, your muscles don't lift the weight when you lift heavy. Well, then why do Dan Green and Jamie Lewis lift so heavy all the time in their training? And they're really muscular and jacked and strong guys, and they train really heavy all the time on gear. They have big muscles, and they're strong. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, he wants us to believe that when you just take these magical steroids, when they're in your body, that when you lift heavy weights, your tendons magically gain the ability. This doesn't apply to naturals, so just disregard this for naturals. Rich, do you even know what these drugs do in the body? Do you know what they do? You know that they basically just attach to the androgen receptors in your muscle tissue and cause your muscles to release IGF-1 from the nuclei. Like that's what they do. They make your muscles grow that way. All right, they don't make your tendons gain the natural ability to contract and lift weights just because you lift heavy. The absurdity of it. The absolute absurdity of it. You know, maybe this is why Rich needs so much fake muscle put into his body. Just saying. Or, I have another theory. You know, because Rich has been caught using fake plates, right? He's been caught using fake plates before. He's been called out on it. Rich only lifts really lightweight. Yet he's so big. Could it be that this is his excuse for not having the amount of strength you would expect from a guy his size? Do you think that's what it could be? So he just uses really lightweight because he knows he doesn't have enough muscle from all the fake muscle that he has, because probably 50% of the mass on his arms isn't muscle. All right, there's site enhancer, there's collagen, there's synthol, everything else. He's got implants in his chest, implants in his calves. Pretty blaringly obvious when you look at him, what all he's had done here, the work he's had done. Maybe this is his way of explaining why a guy his size who uses 4.5 grams of gear can't lift anything heavy. Maybe this is his way of hiding that, because otherwise people are going to be like, well, I don't know, Rich, everyone else says that anabolics make you stronger. They make muscles grow, and when muscles grow, you get stronger even if you don't lift heavy. You should be able to lift a lot more weight for your 5 rep sets, your 10 reps. You should be a lot stronger than you are. Why aren't you strong, Rich? Well, it could be because a lot of it's not really muscle. It's fake muscle. Could be that, and this is his way of explaining it, because you know what? Nothing else he said makes any sense. It doesn't make sense at all. That's not even how the body works. It's not how the body works. I think that's what's really going on here. That's what's really going on. Rich wants to claim that this is the case, and so he trains really, really light just for a pump because he's on all the gear, and that's what makes the muscles grow. And that way he doesn't have to admit he actually isn't strong because he has a lot of fake muscle. And not only does he have muscle that's not real, a lot of that stuff he has in his body and his arms and everything else might actually impact his ability to lift because his muscles can't contract as well with all that stuff inside them and around them. Could be part of that too, and this is his way of not saying, hey guys, come on, I have a lot of fake muscle. I can't lift heavy because it's not real. Alright, that's like thinking that Pamela Anderson is going to produce a lot of milk because she has really big tits. Well, you know, they're fake. Just, you know, same sort of thing. He's got a lot of fake muscle on him. I'm not saying he doesn't have some real muscle. I mean, the guy uses 4.5 grams of gear. He's obviously going to have some real muscle. Hell, even if he didn't lift. But he's got a lot of fake muscle too. This is a good way to try to cover it up. That's what I think. But back to the other point, the idea is ludicrous that this would change for people who go on gear. The idea that something that would make a natural person strong and big and put muscle on them, that if you added anabolics to their mix, that it wouldn't make them even bigger. Okay, let me be very clear with this. Anything that will make a drug-free person big will make them even bigger when they go on drugs. Shouldn't be a difficult concept to understand unless you honestly think that a certain training style just stops working. It puts muscle on everyone who's drug-free, but the second you go on drugs, you just stop gaining muscle from it. Pretty sure it doesn't work that way. I've never seen anyone go on steroids and just stop gaining muscle as soon as they went on steroids, because the training style that worked for them drug-free stopped magically stimulating muscle growth. It doesn't work that way. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.